Hi, this is Dana. You know, if you're a brand new leader, you may not have learned this lesson. If you're an established leader, you probably know it's not about you. I have to tell you a story. When I was a little girl and I got elected to the student council in the very first grade, my mother sat me down and she was so wise and she said, you know, being a leader is not about being the boss, and being a leader is not about knowing everything, and being a leader is not about being the loudest, because you can imagine I kind of have a loud voice, but being a leader, a real leader, makes everybody else feel important and makes everybody else feel like they're part of the team. And I was in first grade and I remember that. And I remember watching her at the PTA, and she was the president of the PTA one year, and everybody got involved. And I am so thankful that I had that lesson early on, that that's what it means to about being a leader. So you can imagine that when I grew older and I started reading about leadership, I chuckled when I read John Maxwell's 5 Levels of Leadership. It's a great book, by the way, because he talks about the first level is position. That's when people have to follow you. And that's not really much of a leader. In direct sales, nobody has to follow us. The second one that he talked about is by permission, and that's when people do it because they want to follow you. And a lot of times you have people who you're recruiting that, you've got influence with them and they're your friends, and so they want to hang out with you and they want to be around you. The third level, that reason that people will follow you, is for your productivity, the things that you've done for the organization. And after a while, when you're a leader and you've been in top in sales, people start going, wow, she's really good. I do want to follow her. I want to be a leader too. The next level, though, keeps getting higher, can you tell? The next level is people development, and that's what you do for them. And that's when you begin to have leading a greater influence. Finally, the last level, the highest level, is pinnacle. And that's when what you're doing, it's who you are and what you stand for. And that's why people want to follow you. Now, nobody starts off with pinnacle. We grow in each one of those areas. And I just want to encourage you, it all goes back to that simple little story that my mama told me. She wanted to make people feel good about themselves, like they're the boss, like they're the ones that are in charge, that they're the ones that are participating and they feel part of the team. You don't have to be the loudest or the smartest. You don't have to be the boss. You have to make a difference in their lives. And if you keep that in mind this year as you lead, I promise you, your level of leadership will rise.